المدة التي متاحة لنا.
How long do we have? Inshallah, we have 35 minutes.
الحمد لله وصلى الله على إمام أهل الفتوة سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبعد.
In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, praise be to God and blessings and peace be upon the leader of the people of chivalry and his family and companions.
تعريف الفتوة.
A definition of chivalry.
هي قوة.
It's a power or strength
كامنة.
which is internalized.
هي قوة متبصرة كامنة تنفعل لنصرة الحق.
He says it's a strength possessing insight which is internalized and which reacts in order to give victory to truth.
أعيد التعريف.
Do you want me to repeat it?
هي قوة متبصرة كامنة تنفعل لنصرة الحق.
He said it's a power possessing insight which is internalized and reacts in order to give victory to truth.
الإخلاص قصدها.
Ikhlas is his final goal.
عن الإخلاص.
Sincerity is his final goal.
هذا من إخلاصه ذكر الإخلاص كما هو. الإخلاص مقصدها.
Sincerity is his goal.
والأخلاق مرشدها.
Good character is its guide.
والرحمة باطنها.
Mercy is its inward.
والتغيير ظاهرها.
And bringing about change is its outward.
فكل ما لا تجتمع فيه هذه المواصفات فليس بفتوة.
And everything which doesn't combine all of these attributes is not considered chivalry.
هي قوة.
So it's a power.
تكون في الجسد.
In the body.
وتكون في النفس.
And in the self.
وتكون في العقل.
And in the intellect.
وتكون في الروح.
And in the spirit.
قد يغتفر أحيانا فقدها في الجسد.
One can sometimes be forgiven to be lacking in it in his body.
قد يغتفر أحيانا عدم مكافأة قوة العقل والنفس لقوة الروح.
And one can sometimes be forgiven if his self and his intellect don't have the same power as his spirit.
لكن لا تغتفر أبدا أن تفقد القوة في الروح. لا يغتفر أن تفقد القوة في الروح فمن فقد قوة روحه فليس بفتوة.
But it's unforgivable for not to be possessed as a power in the spirit. And whomever doesn't possess this power in his spirit can't possess chivalry.
متبصرة قلنا هي قوة متبصرة.
And possessing insight, because we said it's a power that possesses insight.
متبصرة فلا يتأتى قط إذا كانت القوة عمياء أن نسميها فتوة.
And he said, so when the power is blind, we can never call that chivalry.
يمكن أن تخطئ.
It can make mistakes even though it has insight.
ولكنها متبصرة فتتدارك الخطأ.
But because it possesses insight, it can correct its own mistakes.
كامنة.
Internalized.
فليس حب الاستعراض قط من علامات الفتوة.
The love of demonstrating one's power it has nothing to do with chivalry.
إلا في حالة نصرة الحق.
Except in a situation where one needs to bring about the victory of truth.
رأى الحبيب صلى الله عليه وسلم بعض الصحابة في أثناء معركة دفاع عن الحق ورد للظلم يمشي بتبختر.
He said, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam saw one of the companions during a battle walking around proudly and in a way that was showing off.
معركة كانت لرد عدوانه.
It was a battle to fight someone who transgressed against them.
فقال رسول الله إنها مشية يبغضها الله في غير هذا المقام.
And the Prophet of God said that kind of walk is a walk that's hated by God, except in this situation.
فهي كامنة.
So therefore it's hidden.
طيب كيف نعرفها؟
How do we know it?
كالفاعل في نصرة الحق.
How do we come to know about it if it's hidden? Because it reacts in order to give victory to truth.
ومتى يحصل الخلط في انفعال القوة؟
And when does confusion happen? When people react, their power, their strength reacts.
عندما يختلط على الإنسان أمر نصرة الحق مع أمر نصرة نفسه.
When a person gets confused as to when he's trying to give victory to truth, and when he's trying to give victory to his own ego.
كان في شمائله صلى الله عليه وسلم كان لا يغضب لنفسه ولا ينتصر لها فإذا ضيع حق الله لم يقم أحد لغضبه.
It says in the description of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he was never angry for himself, but when someone didn't give the rights of God, no one would be able to stand in front of his anger.
كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي في صحن الكعبة قبل الهجرة.
He said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed in the basin in the area surrounding the open space surrounding the Kaaba before he went on the migration.
وكان الكفار يأتون فيؤذونه وهو يصلي.
And the disbelievers would come and harm him when he was in his prayers.
ما أدري إذا كان شبابنا قد سمعوا من قبل أن سيدنا محمد قد أوتي صلى الله عليه وسلم قوة 40 رجل.
I don't know if any of our young people have heard, but the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the strength of 40 men.
قوة حسية.
I'm talking about physical strength.
كان وهو ساجد صلى الله عليه وسلم قد يأتي بعض المعادين له فيضعون القاذورات على عاتقه وهو ساجد.
He said when he was in prostration, some of the people that who wanted to hurt him would come and throw entrails on his back.
فلا يتحرك.
Meaning the innards of animals on his back, and he wouldn't move.
حتى تأتي سيدتنا فاطمة الزهراء عليها سلام الله وهي السابعة من عمرها وفي الثامنة من عمرها.
And Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, may God be pleased with her, would come, and she was about 7-8 years old at the time.
فتخاصم هؤلاء وتزيل القاذورات من على عاتقه.
She'd argue with them and she'd remove the filth from his back, sallallahu alayhi wa
كان
sallam.
لها نصيب من الفتوة.
So she had her portion of chivalry too.
فتاة في الثامنة من عمرها وتقوم أمام رجال أقوياء وتخاصمهم وتزيل القاذورات من على عاتق أبيها.
A chivalrous young girl of 8 would stand in front of these strong men, argue with them and remove what they just done to her father.
لكنها لم تكن تدافع عن نفسها.
But she wasn't defending herself.
كانت تدافع عن الحق.
She was defending the truth.
ومرة من المرات يخنقونه حتى تجحظ عيناه.
And one time they strangled him until his eyes popped up.
فيدفعهم سيدنا أبو بكر ويقول أتقتلون رجلا يقول ربي الله.
And Sayyidina Abu Bakr pushed them away and said to them, do you attempt to kill a man who just says, my Lord is God?
مرة من المرات يضربونه.
And another time they struck him.
مرة يضعون الشوك في طريقه.
Another time they put thorns in his way.
طيب الذي يسكت في هذه المدة ما الذي ينطبع في عقول وأذهان الناس عنه؟
A person who's quiet for all this period, what kind of impression do you think people would make in their minds about him?
ها شباب.
Answer me, young men, young women. Someone who doesn't retaliate for everything that's done.
نتكلم عن رسول الله، إنسان يضرب ويوضع على عاتقه وكذا، ماذا قد يتخيل الإنسان عنه؟
We're not
هل
talking
يتخيل أنه قوي؟
No, we're not talking about the messenger. We're talking about someone people insult, throw things at, hits, and doesn't do anything to retaliate. What kind of impression do people form of him? Do they think he's a strong person? جبان.
جاء رجل من الأعراب من بدو العرب إلى مكة.
A Bedouin Arab came to Mecca.
كان هذا الرجل له مال على عدو الله أبي جهل.
He said the man had some money with the enemy of God, Abu Jahl.
أبو جهل كان قوي البدن.
Abu Jahl was a strong man.
يتظاهر بالشجاعة.
And he used to show himself like he's some courageous man or something.
زعيم في فتيان بني مخزوم من قريش.
He was one of the leaders of Bani Makhzum in Quraysh.